I'm saying it was like something between me and my baby's father why I just didn't decide to take the pills.
And they're buying this message.
Many of those beautiful babies are children of parents who were as young as 15 years of age when this was videotaped in November and December of 1982 and early 1983. Michael Jackson's lyrics state, "If they say why, tell them that it's human nature." But it has always been human nature. Yet in this state alone, from 1970 to 1980, more than 95,768 infants have been born to teenage mothers ages 12 to 19. Though overall infants born to teenagers has decreased in the state of Massachusetts from 10,257 in 1970 to 7,765 in 1980, teenage births continue to remain more than 10% of all births in the state. This shows a prevailing attitude towards the acceptance of unresponsible sexual behavior. The lack of birth control usage and unplanned pregnancies are still maintaining a detrimental pace. The ever-increasing acceptance of pregnancy among peers of teenage girls is greater than ever before in history. It is the general acceptance and basic approval of this phenomenon that we are seeking to understand as we ask the question, teenage pregnancy, what's your reason?
I didn't like birth controls. When I took the pill, it did the same thing. It made me sick. I ain't never liked birth controls. And the other thing, the IUD, I was going to get that, but you know how girls go around and say it bothers your inside, it's swollen you up, and it gets stuck inside you, all kind of mess. So I didn't want that either. I don't like birth control. So I just stopped taking them. I forget about taking them, and I just end up pregnant.
Well, there are several reasons why teenagers will get pregnant. One is failure of contraception. One is lack of knowledge of where to go for contraception. But frequently those are not the reasons why teenagers get pregnant. It may be that indeed it's peer pressure. Their friends have gotten pregnant and it is now the in thing to do. It could be that they're having some difficulties at home or at school, and this is one of the ways in which they can get their own budget and they can move out of the home.
And now my daughter's gonna have a baby, and she's only a baby herself. My child, yes. And she's only a baby herself.
In the city of Boston, there are many outreach programs for teens seeking information about birth control and sexual awareness. There are also alternative schools and residence programs to assist teenage girls who choose not to continue going to their high schools or living at home while pregnant. We visited a very progressive program at St. Mary's, which is umbrellaed by St. Margaret's Hospital in Dorchester. Among a very sophisticated staff are counselors, teachers, social workers, medical staff, educators of sex education, and a parenting class. Does the amount of support staff and programs actually prepare them for their new lives they have chosen as parents, or does it prolong the cold inevitability of teenage parenthood, protecting them from the hard facts of making it in society as an uneducated, inexperienced parent? All of these girls who asked to participate in this group discussion were due to deliver within 10 to 30 days from this videotaping. Birth control was the first issue at hand.
My doctor always told me to get some, but I would say, yeah, I'm going to get him. But then when I went to one of her classes, right, she told me what they can do to you, you know, side effects and everything, that they lead to certain things. So when I thought about it, I said, no, that's not for me. So I just said, whatever happens, happens. was meant to be. That's how it was meant to be.
Well, I was on birth control, and it helped, but it just had so many side effects. I got dizzy in the morning, sick.
What kind of birth control were you on?
I don't know the name of it.
I mean, was it birth control pills?
And I got real fat, so I just stopped taking them, but they helped. I guess the pills was too strong. By the time I went back to the doctor to get some more, it's too late.
When I was on birth control pills, I had stopped taking them because they was making me fat. So I just stopped taking them altogether.
And I never was interested in it because at my age I didn't think I was going to be having sex. And I discussed it with my parents, and I didn't feel there was any need for it because I wasn't expecting to be in any certain position. So I never even thought about birth control.
No, I just never took it because my sister was taking it, and I seen what had happened to her. She was getting sick, and her face was all swelled up, and she had her nose just constantly kept on bleeding from taking the birth control pills. So I told my mother that I wasn't taking birth control pills.
They don't like birth control. It makes them sick, or it's not for them. Sherry Sherman, coordinator for Planned Parenthood's Youth Expression Theater, speaks to their concerns and excuses.
No one likes birth control, for the most part. Birth control is not fun, but birth control is a necessity if you don't want to get pregnant. For kids, kids are really into a point of immediate gratification, as most of us adults are too. I mean, we want it now. You want it good and you want it now. And they, at this point in their lives, often don't have that ability yet to kind of look one step beyond it. You know, if I don't use birth control now and I have intercourse, I may get pregnant. And if I get pregnant, what am I going to do? You know, sometimes they have a feeling of everything will work out, everything will be okay. And just don't lay it out often. I mean, that their first sexual experience, or many of their sexual experiences, that they're not talking to their partner. That you kind of just do it. It's kind of just assumed. And you don't talk it through.
For those who don't seek out the information, what are their alternatives? Pregnancy, interruption of schooling, disruption in everyday life, angry parents, social life altered, and then the boys, the fathers, who are often denied any rights at all and left feeling and actually being in over their heads. There is responsibility for both boys and girls, and the price is great.
I think sometimes boys are not really aware of what they're asking a girl to do when he's asking her to go all the way. He may ask her to do it because if you really love me, you would do it. Let's just do it this once. Nobody else will know about it. This is just between you and me. It seems so simple. It's one night. It's 1 minute sometimes. It's a very short act for the boy. And his responsibilities end with it. The consequences for him end with the sexual act. But for the girl, it could very much continue on, and it could shape her entire life.
All I can say is my reason was silly. Just never decided to take it. I'm saying it was like something between me and my baby's father why I just didn't decide to take the pills. You know, it was like an agreement between me and him that I wouldn't take it.
So you all decided you wanted to have a child?
No. So he believes, right, that if it was meant to happen, it was meant to happen.
What you
I'm
thinking of
definitely
it
gonna
now?
do something now. I'm doing something now.
What are you going to do? Do you know yet?
Yeah, the pills.
And where are you going to get them?
The clinic I go to.
Yeah. So what's her father think about that now?
Well, he doesn't have a choice now. Because he doesn't have a job. He ain't proven himself right, so I'm just going to take him.
Do you wish you had decided that before?
Yeah.
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
PTOC directors Clara Dean James and Christine Bond of Harvard Street Health Clinic in Dorchester speak from the boys' perspective after getting their information firsthand from the PTOC teens. most of the programs that are geared towards dealing with adolescent pregnancy are geared towards the teenage mother and her child. And oftentimes when a young woman comes home to her family to say that she is pregnant, the boy is blamed. It's almost like he had a knife and he forced her to have sex. I mean, they never take into consideration that the girl consented to have sex. So he becomes the villain. He is ostracized from the family. He is not allowed, if the family allows the girl to maintain the pregnancy, he is oftentimes not allowed in on that. He is not allowed to see the child. He is not encouraged to become responsible. So here we have a situation where boys are accused of being irresponsible about their sexual behavior. And on the other hand, when they try to be responsible, they are pushed aside.
Clara Dean, isn't the boy really the villain since he does have the most power?
No, I would not say that at all. I think, as Chris said, in order to deal with a pregnancy, it has to be two people in some form. And if it's not rape, then it's consent. Which means if the girl consented to have sex, you know, irregardless of whether she felt pressured or whatever, you know, nobody forced her to have sex. It was something of her own free will, and she did it. Okay, so I can't agree with that the guy is really the villain. But as Chris said, oftentimes than not, he's made out to be the villain. But no, the little girl's consent. And she is not a little girl when she consents to have sex. She is, in a lot of respects, very much a woman.
Bobby Platt, 22, a student at Roxbury Community College, a divorced father of one, with another child living with him and his son's mother at home.
Well, a lot of girls don't like to use birth control because they feel like it's going to get them fat, or taking a pill every day. It sounds easy, but it isn't, you know. And sometimes dudes say to her, are you on something? And sometimes they'll lie to you. They'll say, yeah, I'm on something. You know? But you can't tell, not unless you're there when she takes the pill. And you can't play father because it's not your place.
Do you feel that it's part of the boy's responsibility to practice birth control?
Yeah, but a lot of girls don't, you know, really care for that. They'll say, no, I don't want that. No. You know, I don't feel like being bothered with that right there.
Did you ever feel that maybe girls were trying to set boys up when they tell them they're taking some kind of birth control method and they may not be, and at the same time they don't want you to use a condom?
Yeah, they could be setting you up. But see, you never know. You feel like that in the back of your mind when it first hits you, and they say, well, I'm pregnant. And the first thing runs through your mind is, did she set me up, or is she in love with me and she don't want to let me go, or it runs in the back of your mind.
How many of you really decided that you really wanted to get pregnant on purpose anyway? It was something that you really wanted to do?
I always wanted to have a baby. And I guess, well, now that I got it, I'm happy about it. It's something I don't want to change.
One time I thought that I would never have kids. I used to just sit around the house and say, I ain't gonna have no kids, because I just sat down thinking that I wasn't gonna never have them. But when I reached the age 16, I got pregnant.
Boys like me, but you're special, baby. That you're so much different.
Girls, girls and boys, should be in a situation where they can get a feel for what it is they really want out of a relationship. They need to think about that so that when they meet somebody, they can evaluate this person, objectively, without, if you can evaluate people if you're not emotionally tied up with them, so that if they had a chance to sort out these things, this is what I want, this is what I'd like to do. Is this person interested in the kinds of things that I want to do? Am I interested in the kinds of things that he want to do? And can we talk together? Do we really enjoy each other? Is it a giving, a sharing kind of relationship?
The Harvard Street Health Clinic's P-Talk drama group skit, entitled We're Not Pregnant, brings the birth control issue to a climax.
Hello, Vance? Vance, listen, I need to talk to you. No, Vance, it's very important. The basketball game can wait until later. Vance, I need to talk to you now. This is very serious. Can you come over? All right, I'm waiting. Okay, bye-bye. How did I get myself into this situation? Vance, is that you?
Yes, me, Emily. How you doing, babe?
Come on, I need to talk to you.
What's wrong?
Vance, listen, something happened today, and it's very serious.
Well, before you get into it, who's home?
Nobody's home, Vance, but listen, I have to talk to you about something. This is very important.
What's wrong?
Vance, I'm pregnant.
You're pregnant? By who?
By who? By you!
No, not me. You and somebody else, not me.
It's not you.
I'm sorry.
I don't believe you.
It can't be me.
It is you. I haven't been with anybody but you for over a year, and you're going to tell me this baby's not yours?
Believe it.
Believe nothing. You're going to take responsibility for this. You understand? This baby is yours and mine. It took both of us.
I got nothing to do with that. That is your problem. That is your baby.
This is
your
not
stomach.
my problem. No, you're not going to lay this on me like this. This is your problem.
You're not
too,
going to lay it on me.
Don't you
just
remember?
trying to frame me.
I'm not trying to frame you.
I got nothing to do with you and your baby and whatever you did with somebody else.
What?
You will find the father of your baby.
You are the father. I've only had sex with you. This baby is yours and mine. You're going to take this responsibility or I'll kill the baby. I'll have an abortion. That's right. I'll have an abortion and you don't have nothing to say about it.
I don't know what you do 24 hours a day. My friends tell me they see you on Bruno.
I don't believe you.
Did you not even?
I don't have an abortion. And I have nothing more to say to you.
You with other boys all the time. You go find your father.
I hate you and I don't want anything to do with you.
Fine, because I don't want anything to do with you.
Get out of my face.
The girl's got to be out of her mind trying to accuse me of being the father of her baby. How can she do that? How can she say that I'm the father of her baby? I was with her one time and didn't even enjoy myself. Oh man, this girl got to be crazy. Goes to the doctor, next thing you know, she come back pregnant. I just can't, I don't know what to do with this girl. How am I gonna live up to something like that? I don't even know if I'm not even gonna admit this. No, I'm not even gonna say that's my baby. I'm not even gonna say it. Because I know I didn't do it. I came out. She the one who wanted to carry on. I had the condoms in the drawer. If I'd have used the condoms, she wouldn't be trying to frame me right now. Man, who am I fooling? That's my baby. I know it is. Now that made her mad, she's gonna go have an abortion, kill the baby. Oh man. Let me go talk to her.
The girl got caught. Her little girl got caught.
PTALK's Teenage Peer Counseling Group addresses the key issue here, responsibility.
What about the whole denial part? I mean, he totally denied it. He knew that she, was faithful to him. And he denied it. I mean, he walked in the door and it was all, baby, baby, I love you, mama's not home. And then when she said, I'm pregnant, he just like cold as ice. He had nothing to do with it. What about that?
Well, he wasn't expecting it. I mean, he comes here to see his lady, hi, nobody's home? Well, let's do such and such. But then she says, no, I'm pregnant. He gets scared. He doesn't know what to do. His first reaction is to, no, it's not my baby.
Yeah, but that's not fair to her. I mean,
well, it's not fair to her, but that is how some males act because they are so scared of becoming a father and having to grow up so fast that they do get in that situation.
Well, if he liked or loved the girl, he should have took responsibilities and used the condom instead of saying he had it in the drawer. He should have used it so they wouldn't be in the situation.
But then again, she should have used the phone. Or she should have went to the doctor and got some other prescription type of contraception.
I think they both should have shared the responsibility of birth control. Therefore, they will both be equally involved. That might say something for teenagers being involved in sexual relationships because it is a very emotional thing. And I think that if people are going to be involved with it, they have to be mature. And these things have to be discussed before they do have sexual intercourse.
The three key words which have continually come up are discussion, planning, and responsibility. Discussion. the need to communicate with your partner to arrive at some mutual understanding about your relationship, planning, the importance of being prepared for your sexual experiences and responsibility before, during, and after you become sexually active with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Be ready to make knowledgeable adult decisions for your behavior. Responsibility must be taken by someone, even when the teen parent cannot or will not take it.
I asked you a while ago, about 2 months ago, what you thought about birth control. Do you remember what you said? Tell me what you think about it now.
Still don't feel that it's safe. I think it's safe.
Are you using birth control now?
Not really.
Aren't you afraid of getting pregnant again?
No.
You plan on finishing school? What happens if you get pregnant again, though?
I still can go to school.
That's what you would do? So, what kind of career, do you want a career after you get out of high school? Or you going to college or what?
Yeah, I want a career.
In what?
Theater arts.
So how are you supporting your baby? How are you taking care of it? How can you afford to take care of it?
My mother.
Your mother. You have a good mother, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if she wouldn't do it? What would you do?
Do a job.
Quit school?
Yeah.
Do both? What would you do?
I can go to school and get a job after school.
What kind of work would you do? What do you think?
Well, I can type.
Can you? Does James work?
Yeah.
What does he do?
His father's there, movers. And he move people.
So James tries to help support the baby? Does he? Does he want to have any more children?
Yeah.
Is it hard for you?
No.
Why do you think it's not?
Because my mother take care of him while I'm in school. When I come home, I just take care of him.
Sometimes it's easy for them that some parents will readily accept another infant into the home, that they're not faced with the situation of you're pregnant, you've got to leave, we don't want to deal with it, that the mother will step in and help the parenting so she can go back to school or she can still go out with her friends.
In a few cases, some teen parents are fortunate enough to have a family support system within their home, enabling them to maintain somewhat of a normal teen lifestyle.
How much of your own personal life are you giving up and helping to raise your grandson?
A lot. A lot.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good sometimes, and then, sometimes I get depressed, I say, well, I could be doing this, I could be doing something else, but, I'm sacrificing, because I'd rather see her get her education, than not to get an education, and to me that's more important, okay? Because I wish when I got pregnant that someone was around to do it for me.
What did happen when you got pregnant at 15?
Well, I had to drop out of school because my mother had 16 kids. And I had to take care of my baby. I was married, though. But, my husband was working. There was nobody to take care of my baby at the time. If someone was there, I, could have finished school and everything. And I didn't have a lot of opportunities like they have now. Okay.
So it's really important to you that your daughters get a better education than you had.
It would disappoint me if she didn't. Because I gave up a lot so that she could.
Birth control is a problem that everyone needs to address. Lack of responsibility on the parent's part could be mistaken as a go-ahead for the teenage child.
The most effective method that we have on the market today remains the birth control pill. Second in effectiveness is the intrauterine device. Third and fourth run the diaphragm and the condom. And those are very close in efficacy, so I really lump them together and not one better than the other. And then you have your other methods. You've got foams and suppositories and creams and jellies, withdrawal, douching, which really doesn't work but is considered a method by some teenagers. There are a few methods that will be coming on the market within the near future, such as vaginal sponges, a diaphragm already impregnated with, rather not impregnated, but a condom already coated with a spermicidal agent. So there are some methods that will be coming out in the future. As far as what I recommend for a teenager, I usually try and give them, within reason, that method that they have chosen. My role as a physician is to tell you what you cannot use rather than what you can use.
An alternative teenagers tend to forget is the freedom to choose and to not buckle under sexual peer pressure.
Another thing is that these are all children who grew up after the sexual revolution. So therefore, they feel the right that they should have sex and enjoy sex and be free of the responsibility, and girls feel that they should have just as much fun as the boys have. Of course, none of this falls in once when it really happens, when you do find yourself pregnant. Then the avalanche comes down over you. Another thing is that there is no counterbalance like we had when we were growing up that said, it's okay to say no. It's okay to be a virgin. You can still